Go ahead.
Does that then mean that negotiations are now underway between the U.S. and Mexico on returning to the Migrant Protection Protocol?
Well, the Department of State, DHS, with DHS support, is engaging in diplomatic discussions with the government of Mexico as part of our efforts to implement the court's order. And I would just note, I should have said this a little earlier. I mean, our point of view continues to be that this program was not implemented in a moral way. It was inefficient. It used resources by CBP resources. It led to a backlog in the system, and it is fundamentally a program we have opposed, but we are also abiding by a court order.
Can I ask you a threshold question
Sure.
about the range of assistance that the U.S. is now promising to offer to Afghanistan after August 30th?
Yep.
You talk about consular services. Is it the President's expectation that the Taliban will continue to allow safe passage for Afghans to the airport after the U.S. leaves?
It is again, this is part of an active discussion, and I understand certainly why you're asking the question, but we continue to believe that there will be there could be, I should say, American citizens. There could be Afghans who would be eligible for special immigrant visas, or would be individuals eligible for a range of our programs who would want to depart. That would require a means of departing, and that's what we're working through now.
So if there's no guarantee yet from the Taliban to continue to allow safe passage for the people that the U.S. is hoping...
Again, these are ongoing discussions, and that is our expectation and what we're working toward. Go ahead.
A couple quick questions. Yesterday, the President and you, I think, said that he had asked the Pentagon and State Department for all contingency plans. Has he received all the contingency plans, or is there a full set that he's still waiting for more of?
Yes, he received a briefing this morning.
So he has received, in totality, all the contingency plans that they're providing. Okay.
Again, this is an ongoing discussion, right? And as you well know, and the President has lengthy meetings, sometimes more than once a day, with his national security team. But yes, the contingency plans he requested, he received a briefing on this morning.
Perfect. That helps. Earlier, we heard from the Secretary of State saying that there are as many as 1,500 Americans, by my math, who still want to get out, who are in Afghanistan right now. Is it possible that they could be evacuated before? Could these evacuations end before that date? Could it finish before August 31st?
Well, it could, Peter. I think, and I would just note by the numbers, right? 4,500 Americans were evacuated over the last 10 days. That doesn't even count their family members, whether it's a spouse or a spouse and children or a combination, and that we've also been in contact with an additional 500. So it's actually more like a pool of 1,000 who we are reaching out to multiple times a day through multiple communication channels: phone, text, email, WhatsApp, etc. As I noted a little bit earlier, we also have an expectation that there are a number of these individuals, dual nationals, people who may have expansive extended family, who may not have made the decision to part at this point in time.
And let me ask you, earlier one of my colleagues asked you, and you said you didn't want to provide a cap as it relates to Afghan allies, vulnerable Afghan allies who are still seeking to leave the country right now. Recognizing you don't want to provide a cap, can you provide us a baseline? What is the stated goal, as provided the President, of the number you estimate it is at least as many as? So there's some context for these numbers of 80,000+ people who have now been evacuated.
That is similar to me in giving a cap. And there are people who are not yet through the process who may not count as an SIV applicant at this point in time, or may be eligible for a range of programs. Our objective, as you've seen by the numbers over the past several days, is to evacuate as many people as possible who qualify for any of these programs.
I guess why can't the White House or the administration say what that stated goal is, even as a baseline, so people get a sense of what we're shooting for in this process? What's the harm in saying that?
Because I don't think there's a benefit in giving a cap. That's not our objective.
It gives context to when you say 80,000. 80,000
Well,
is a lot, but is it out of how many?
fair. I think important context, though, is that we've now evacuated, again, 88,000 people, 82,000 people on U.S. military and coalition flights. You know, just a week ago, some people were saying we couldn't do 50,000. We've done 82,000. And so just to put into context, again, that's a flight yesterday, every 39 minutes. That is thousands and thousands of people coming through the airport every single day, 19,000 people yesterday. I think these numbers do provide context, and we're going to continue to press every single day to get more people who are eligible out of the country.
Of course, we don't know of those 80,000 how many are SIV eligible applicants, right? Some may just be those who wanted to evacuate the country, which is part of why I ask.
Well, I think that what's important to note here is that the people we are prioritizing are American citizens, are SIV applicants, and others who might be eligible for a variety of programs. And in order to prevent a mass crowding at the airport, those are the people we are in direct contact with.
And then let me ask lastly about the two congressmen who went over
Sure.
there. I know the statement you've put out about they shouldn't be doing this, that this was the wrong decision to be made. About the merits of what they said, though, having now returned. They said that because the evacuations started so late, there's no way the U.S. will be able to get all those necessary evacuees out, even by September 11th. What does the White House say to that criticism that those two lawmakers are saying based on their firsthand experience?
Well, I would say first that we're on track to have the largest U.S. airlift in history, and I think that speaks for itself. Go ahead.